this video is gonna make some people unhappy. It's gonna make some people uncomfortable, and it's gonna make some people unbelievably glad that I had the courage to say what they've been thinking but didn't say out loud. If you have been cruising for any length of time, surely you've heard rumblings about swingers on cruise ships. I remember years ago learning from a YouTube cruise video that upside down pineapples are a symbol that people use on cruises to tell others that they're swingers. Even though it's not something that I ever considered participating in, it was one of those taboo things that I was curious to know more about. There are many aspects of life that, though unfamiliar or seemingly provocative, capture our attention momentarily before we just move on. But this time, I decided to explore this growing culture more thoroughly to see what I can see. Who are swingers? Have I ever met one? Is my neighbor a swinger? I just can't imagine who these people are. Well, it turns out people who participate in swinging can be found in all walks of life, including professionals, blue-collar workers, entrepreneurs, you name it. Next time you walk down a crowded street, think to yourself, are they a swinger? In the videos and articles I've come across, swinging is often portrayed in a very positive light. The people featured are typically really attractive and seem to want you to know how happy they are in their relationships. They attribute this happiness to the swinger lifestyle, often referred to simply as the lifestyle by those in the know. When asked why they choose to swing, many give straightforward answers like, it's fun, or I wanted to live out my sexual fantasies. Others describe it as sexually freeing, and shockingly, many claim that it actually strengthens their bond with their spouse.
No.
My guess is that when people see these videos and read these articles, it plants a seed in their mind that swingers are so happy. I mean, they say it actually helps their marriage. You might think, well, that's what I need in my marriage. Okay, before I go any deeper into this, just in case there was any question, let's officially define what a swinger is. Here is the Collins Dictionary definition. Swingers are people who are married or in a long-term relationship and who like to have sex with other people's partners. All right, did you get that? Here it is one more time. Really listen to this. Swingers are people who are married or in a long-term relationship who like to have sex with other people's partners. All right, you ready for this? It's time for me to spice things up a little bit. I am going to define another word for you, and I would like you to tell me if you can see any difference between this new word's definition and the definition for the word swingers. Adultery. The definition of adultery is sexual intercourse between a married person and a person who is not his or her spouse. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, the word adulterer and the word swinger could be used as synonyms. Now, where I come from, and yes, I proudly come from a Christian family, we don't hold up couples that commit adultery as sexually enlightened. We certainly don't see this action bring couples closer together, and it generally has an extremely negative connotation that comes with it. So yeah, one of the epiphanies I had while digging deeper into the swinger phenomenon is that being a swinger is just a dressed up way to say that you're a person that commits adultery. And not only that, you kind of wear it as a medal and put it out there as part of your persona. It's really weird when you first start looking into swingers on cruise ships. The initial articles and videos often paint a really enticing picture. They suggest that by joining this really exclusive group driven by sexual freedom, you'll find a judgment-free zone where anything goes. The narrative is really alluring. You're told that you no longer have to hold back that sexual desire for people who aren't your spouse. In fact, the whole idea is to give in. Swap partners and experience a new level of freedom. It all sounds really appealing. Almost too good to be true. Well, here's the thing. When you look beyond those tempting narratives, you start to see the lie. It's a trap, a soul-sucking con job that will likely ruin your marriage and possibly ruin your life. If there's one thing I've learned in life, nothing comes without a price, especially a sexual encounter, and really especially a sexual encounter when you're married. I want to let you in on the real narrative. I truly hope that this video will get to people who are thinking about joining this life before they fall into the trap. And it is a trap. I'm about to expose the lie. Here is what sooner or later will most likely happen to those who choose the swinger lifestyle path. Have you subscribed to our channel yet? No time like the present. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There will almost certainly be jealousy and insecurity. Be honest with yourself. Are you really okay with your wife or husband having sex with someone else? Do you really think you won't ever find yourself wondering how you compare to one of their swinging partners? This is a double-edged sword. You may feel jealous and angry about the partners of your spouse and insecure about yourself that you don't measure up. Doesn't sound that great, does it? There's going to be relationship strain. So you and your loved one decide to try it out. What happens if your spouse really likes it and you don't? Now there will be disappointment from one side or the other, no matter how you proceed, probably leading to a broken relationship. All because you were tempted by the forbidden fruit. Have you thought about the health risks? Wouldn't it be frickin' horrifying to find out you were given the gift of a sexually transmitted disease because your spouse was living out their sexual desires? Swinging maybe wouldn't sound so good as you were trying to explain to your doctor why you have chlamydia. Emotional complications. No matter the circumstances, having sex with someone is an incredibly intimate experience. Throughout the entire history of time, sex has led to feelings of love for the persons involved. Are you so naive that you don't think this might happen if you and your spouse have sex with other people? It's bound to happen. Are you willing to take this chance for that sexual freedom you keep hearing about? How about the children? Is this how you want your children to behave? What if they found out that mom and dad have sex with other couples when they go on those cruises? They will be traumatized and will most likely follow in mom and dad's footsteps. What would you think if your son or daughter decided to live the lifestyle? One of the 10 commandments that God gave to Moses is you shall not commit adultery. It does not get any more plain than that. These are not the 10 suggestions. These are the 10 commandments. How long has it been since you took a look at the 10 commandments? Maybe now would be a good time to review them. It might just change your life. Well, I have got to tell you, after diving into the phenomena of swingers on cruise ships, I am so glad to be coming out of those very murky waters. My conclusion is that all the upside-down pineapples, the coded words, the promises of living out your deepest sexual fantasy without judgment are just advertisement for temporary pleasure that has a hidden price tag with a spiritual and physical world cost that is frighteningly high. Please don't fall for this trap. Honor your husband or wife with the loyalty they deserve. Stay true to your wedding vows. Encourage others to do the same. We are bombarded with these advertisements of pleasure that ultimately leads to destruction. We need to combat it with honesty, with truth, with faith, common sense, and integrity. As an avid cruiser, I am disappointed that a seedy practice like swinging is associated with cruising. Some cruise lines even hold swingers cruises where they have sex workshops and create an environment that encourages this despicable behavior. I guess it's just business for them. I know some will tell me to live and let live, to not judge others and so forth. But I'm kind of done with that. I'm going to tell it like I see it. I don't hate swingers or anyone for that matter. I wish people no harm. On the contrary, after my research, I think not saying anything, not calling out that swinger is just another word for adultery, would be the most harmful thing that I could do. What do you think about swingers on cruise ships? Are you courageous enough to tell it like it is, even though you might be told you should just look the other way? Or are you an avid swinger and you want to give me a piece of your mind? Please let me know in the comments. I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Until next time, no matter what destination you choose, no matter which cruise line you choose, adventure awaits.